If this exhibition were held in Paris and the artist had some curious Gallic or Spanish name, it would create something of a sensation. It would touch the Gallic imagination as something new and different. These are lines from a 1935 Boston Globe art review covering an exhibition of paintings by the artist Emma Fordyce MacRae, then a 48-year-old woman from Park Avenue with a Gloucester summer home overlooking Stage Fort Park. MacRae's paintings have been described by critics as holding two things at once: a unique modernist abstraction and an early Renaissance essence. Her surfaces, laid on and scraped off layers of paint, demand that we think of old-world frescoes. MacRae's compositions, from a dogwood branch to a girl's portrait, lace meaning and structure together in ways that recall Japanese theories of design. Arthur Wesley Dow, who artists of the time revered, called it the rhythmic harmony of colored spaces. Born in 1887 in Vienna, Austria, raised in a wealthy New York suburb, Emma Fordyce MacRae was the only daughter of affluent parents. Her mother came from wealth and her father was a professor of dermatology at Columbia University. The family traveled extensively in Europe. Her father purchased land in Gloucester in 1916 and built the house on Old Salem Road, or Hermit Hill, that would thereafter be home to MacRae's summer artistic life. In 1910, a shadow did fall over the young Emma's apparently cloudless years. At age 23, she married an intern in her father's practice, Thomas MacRae. They had a daughter, Alice, right away, but the marriage barely lasted a year. It would be annulled in 1920, and MacRae would go on to marry Dr. Homer Swift in 1922. 1 year after that failed marriage in 1911, MacRae began classes at the Art Student League in New York City, and later at the New York School of Art. Her family wealth would situate MacRae easily in the living rooms of Gloucester's grand Eastern Point homes, where a portrait market flourished. But MacRae instead chose to paint among the more energetic and gritty Gloucester artists, like William Meyerowitz and her teacher John Sloan. They were all showing in the Gallery on the Moors, the first cooperative venue for Cape Ann artists. MacRae was also showing in New York and Boston. Prestigious institutions like the National Academy of Design, the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts, and the Art Institute of Chicago began accepting her submissions. With her Gloucester colleague Teresa Bernstein, MacRae became a member of the Philadelphia 10, a group of women artists who exhibited together in defiance of the gender bias they were seeing in the art world. MacRae's emphasis on composition drew her away from the open ocean and towards the close architecture of Cape Ann's coves, particularly its northern, more prosaic coves. Hodgkin's Cove, Lane's Cove, and Pigeon Cove was her favorite, a quiet working-class nook farthest away from busy Gloucester. No lighthouses, no cresting waves, no muscled rowers. MacRae's emphasis on composition, the angles of boat to pier, the vertical of ladders, the pattern of roofs, tells a felicitous story of these tiny inlets along Ipswich Bay built by granite and sea. Populated by people fishing or enjoying a day at the beach with work and families on their minds, not art. MacRae's work is hard to find. Most of it remains with her family. She didn't push the sale of her paintings in her lifetime because she lived extremely comfortably and could afford not to. She painted her subjects, flowers and women, loyal to her artistic vision, with deceptive spareness that belies a quiet tension. These are not simple paintings, although at first glance they seem it. On Cape Ann, she chose to paint the places her peers overlooked. In the intimacy of these coves and small-town life, MacRae seemed also to be admiring, maybe counter to her own life, the beauty and complexity of less.